4 subscriptions, all of them useful, and all of them charging you again on the same day next month, and again the month after that. Add them up across a whole year and it stops looking like a rounding error on somebody's card, especially when it is yours. Every single one of those has a free replacement that runs on hardware you already own. 10 of them, and they are properly open. No trial that expires. No credits that run out. No seat you keep paying for long after the project it was for shipped. Start with the piece that everything else plugs into, which is, of course, the model itself. Ollama is the shortest path to a real language model running on the machine in front of you. One command, and it is up. Hosted models charge for every token going in and every token coming back. And every one of them is your code on somebody else's hardware. Point it at a model, it pulls the weights down once, then serves them off your disk. After that, the network is optional. Pull the cable out. It keeps answering because all of it is local. A 3 billion parameter model takes about as much room as a couple of phone videos. It is not the cleverest thing you have ever used. It is fast, it is private, and it is free. The model is only half of it. LibreChat is the part around it. The interface, the history, the accounts hosted by you. Hosted chat is priced per person, so the second somebody else on the team wants it, the bill doubles. Then it triples. You can see where this is going. It sits in front of whatever you point it at. Local models through Ollama, hosted models through their normal endpoints, and one shared history for every single person who has an account on it. 5 people on a hosted plan is over $1,000 a year, every year. Self-hosted, the interface costs nothing and you pay only for the model calls you decide to make. Now, for the part your editor has quietly started charging you for, every month. Continue puts completion and chat inside the editor you already use, and it hands you the choice of exactly which model sits behind it. Autocomplete quietly turned into a subscription somewhere along the way. Build per seat on code that you wrote in a repository that belongs to you. Ghost text appears as you type and tab takes it, exactly like the paid ones. The difference is one config file where you pick the provider, point it at an API or point it at localhost. 10 a month sounds like nothing. Then it is 120 a year, every year, for a feature that runs perfectly well against a model already sitting on your own disk for free. Aider is a pair programmer that lives in the terminal, and it works on the real repository rather than a copy-pasted version of it. The chat window loop is the slow part. Describe the file, paste the file, read the answer, paste it back, and lose the thread every single time. Tell it what you want. It maps out the whole repository, pulls in the files that actually matter, edits them in place, and then writes the commit itself. Your only job is reading the diff afterwards. It is model agnostic, so the exact same habit works on a frontier model today and a local one tomorrow. And nothing leaves the machine unless you sent it. OpenHands takes it further. Hand it an issue and it works the whole thing end to end, then opens a pull request when it is finished. This is the category that got priced like a hire. 20 a month at the bottom, 200 at the top, and per developer once a team is near it. It all works inside a container, so it gets a real shell, a real browser, and a real test runner. And it can break all 3 without touching anything of yours that you care about. The agent itself is free. The only thing left to pay for is the model behind it, and that can be the one already on your disk from part 1. The whole loop costs nothing. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this. Now, back to the video. Same story over on the other side of the studio. Pictures first, then voices. ComfyUI is where most of the serious image and video work happens, and all of it runs on the graphics card already in your machine. Hosted generators sell you credits. Every attempt spends 1, every retry spends another, and getting something you like takes a lot of retries. A workflow here is a graph that you can actually see. Load the checkpoint, encode the prompt, sample for a set number of steps, then decode the result. Every single box in it is yours to change. Because it runs locally, there is no counter anywhere. The 10th attempt costs exactly what the first one did, which is electricity, and that changes how freely you experiment. Faster Whisper is speech to text that runs where you are, and it is quick enough to be genuinely practical on a laptop. The usual route is uploading the audio, paying by the minute, and then waiting. On an hour of recording, that is a real wait and a real invoice. It works in segments. And it hands back a timestamp for every single word. That is the part that makes captions and proper search possible. Instead of a wall of text you still have to read through. Same model, same accuracy, up to 4 times the speed, and less memory while it runs. On hardware you already own, that is the difference between useful and unusable. Kokoro goes the other way. Text in, speech out, from a model small enough that a laptop handles it without complaining. Commercial voices bill per character and every take counts. Change one single word and the paragraph is charged again from the top. The text becomes phonemes. The phonemes go through the model and audio comes out the far side. 82 million parameters is tiny by current standards, and it sounds far better than tiny. No graphics card needed at all. It is small enough to run on a processor, which means it runs on whatever you happen to be watching this on for as many takes as you feel like. 2 left. Both of them surprise people, and both of them are well worth the setup. Browser use lets a model drive a real browser, not an API pretending to be one. An actual window, opened and clicked into. Scrapers break because they are pinned to class names a build tool generated, and one redesign nobody warned you about takes the entire thing down. It reads a page roughly the way that you do. Everything clickable on it gets a number. The model picks a number. The click happens, move the layout around, and the numbers just move with it. The project reports an 87% average right at the top of a public leaderboard, measured on live sites rather than a frozen copy, which is the harder version by far. Unsloth is the one that turns fine-tuning into something you can actually do rather than something you only ever read about. Training used to mean renting data center cards by the hour because a full fine-tune wants more memory than any consumer card has ever had. Freeze the original weights and train a small adapter alongside them instead. The base never moves. The part being trained is a fraction of the size, and the memory requirement collapses right down with it. Twice the speed, and up to 70% less memory. That is what drops the job from a rack of rented cards to the single one already in the machine under your desk. 10 tools, all of them free to run, every single one properly licensed, and between them they cover chat, coding, agents, images, speech, and training a model of your own. The models are open, the tools are open, the hardware is already sitting in front of you, so go and put it to work.